Hello and welcome back to another episode of How About This Movie. Is that right? Is that the name of the show?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can never remember what we're called. That's
After
we got-
50 episodes.
oof.
We can always change it.
I mean, no one watches, so yeah, you're right.
Now for our feature presentation.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of How About This Movie. Today we will be reviewing the 2019 film Marvel. It's the Avengers. I'm nervous. I'm sorry because it's such a touchy subject. But it's the Avengers Endgame. There will be spoilers. Should be in the title.
There should also be a large graphic at the beginning.
And it
with,
will be on the
air
thumbnail.
horns.
There will be some amount of spoilers. We don't know how much yet because we haven't started talking about it.
We did wait a few weeks. We didn't post it right away.
Yeah.
Waited a few weeks.
So there will be spoilers. And I guess we'll see how bad they are. But if you have not seen the movie,
Click
That's
away
your
now.
fault.
I would click away now. Also go see it.
Bye. Have fun at the movies.
And then come back and watch this.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Tyson.
Let's spoil the shit out of this fucking movie.
Let's do it. Who was in this movie?
Well, it was directed by Anthony and Joe Russo.
The Russo brothers?
The Russo brothers.
Okay.
They've
Okay.
done Infinity War and a couple of the Captain America movies. So everybody who's been in a Marvel movie is in this fucking movie. Yeah, you got Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, Don Cheadle, Paul Rudd, Brie Larson come back as Captain Marvel, Karen Gillan plays Nebula. You got a lot of people. Elizabeth Olsen, voice of Bradley Cooper.
And Vin Diesel.
And Vin Diesel. Very shortly for Vin Diesel,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
a little bit less shortly for...
Yeah, Bradley Cooper's in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel's in just a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Because he is Groot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, etc. The list goes on.
All of the
There's a long
different
list
franchises
of people
just still coming together right now.
Yep.
It's basically almost every single superhero that was in this current generation of Marvel movies was in this movie.
Yep.
I guess that's the first big spoiler.
Believe it or not, they undo the Thanos snap.
Yeah. They undo
You
the
mean-
the Thanos booty clap.
You mean Spider-Man's not dead in the second Spider-Man?
Yeah, no, I mean they got like a fucking dust master and then vacuumed him up and then, rehydrated him. Like in the 1960s Batman movie.
Yeah. Like, Black Panther did over $1 billion at the box office, and then they killed T'Challa in Infinity War. Like, I guess the $1 billion box office hit, Black Panther's just over. Like, no, they're gonna undo the snap. Don't worry.
Also, they have trailers for Far From Home.
Which was what I was referencing.
Yeah, no, I knew what you were referencing. Well, because I haven't watched the trailer, but I read when everyone was up in arms throwing a fit that Far From Home takes place before Infinity War. Is that not true?
I don't know. Whoever didn't think that they were gonna bring everybody back
Well, yeah.
is a little bit naive,
Yeah.
right?
Depending on
just-
how they had done the snap, it would be possible
Yeah.
that they weren't going to be able to undo the snap. It'd be unlikely, but it'd be possible. But you can't kill T'Challa and Spider-Man. Those two are like the biggest ones. Like pretty much anyone else could have died in the snap in Infinity War, and it would have been like, what are we doing? What's going on?
Yeah.
But T'Challa has one movie, and it did over $1 billion in the box office, and Spider-Man has one movie, and they've been working for years to get his movie rights back. So there's no way that either of those two could actually die.
Also, I'd say it's arguably the best adaptation of Spider-Man. They go through they travel through time using Hank Pym's.
Oh, spoilers for Ant-Man and the Wasp as well.
Yeah.
Kind
Ant-Man and
of.
the Wasp leads directly into this, pretty much.
Yeah. At the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, the end credit scene, Scott gets stuck in the quantum realm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the end credit scene is the end of Infinity War.
Yes.
It correlates exactly. And then, Scott comes back.
Because of a rat.
Pissing on the console or something.
Does that make sense?
And then they use the time travel technology to go get the Infinity Stones from different timelines.
Yeah. Yeah, he thinks in the quantum realm, because he's in the quantum realm for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So in the quantum realm, he comes up with this idea of time traveling through the quantum realm. So doing the exact opposite thing they said, never go subatomic in Ant-Man 1. He's like, let's just go subatomic and travel through fucking time. That's basically the gist of the idea.
Yeah.
Well, Hank Pym is a brilliant mind, but Iron Man though, just couldn't get there without Iron Man.
Yeah.
Ever.
He's the one who figured it out.
Yeah.
Basically.
So they took the time travel solution to Iron Man. He's just like, nope, not going to do it, can't do it, nope, not going to do it, can't do it, nope. And then he literally solves it in 8 seconds. I mean, I liked that. He's just like, run simulation. Boop. Oh, hey, that's how you do that.
Oh, figured it out.
Brings out almost immediately
Pepper!
to his wife.
Pepper Potts!
I know we said we weren't going to get involved, but I figured it out. It took 8 seconds.
Figured out time travel. And she's just like, are you gonna be able to not now? Fucking just go. She's so done with this shit.
Immediately, Tony Stark shuts him down, so they go get Professor Hulk. Well, that's who it is. Bruce Banner and the Hulk have merged into one. They completely work simultaneously now.
Symbiotically?
Yep. Exactly. And it turns out that he's not as smart as Iron Man because he can't figure out the time travel thing.
Well, to be fair, it's not his area of expertise. If you're talking radiation, he's got you.
Yeah.
Time travel, not so much. That's what he said. He's like,
I mean,
it's not my area of expertise, but I can give it a try.
I'm just saying Tony Stark's smarter at everything than Bruce Banner is. His one area of expertise, he'll beat Tony Stark, but not by nearly as much.
So we have Bruce Banner, Tony Stark around here. Just knowledge of things.
Yeah, Tony Stark's better in every way.
Anyway, I think of the Infinity Stones after many adventures in various different generations of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But who'd have thought some things go awry?
Yeah, some things do go awry, but it all works out in the end.
Only really the one where they're trying to get two at the same time, though, right? Well, I guess that's just not true at all.
Gamora.
Natasha.
Nebula.
Nebula.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and so, yeah, pretty much every mission.
Things go awry.
Just about,
yeah.
Still works out, though.
Yep.
So, what? Anyway, are we done? No?
Go ahead.
I'm trying to, condense without spoilers.
What surprised me in the movie is how quickly in the beginning they actually kill Thanos. It's immediately, right away,
yeah.
just oh, we found him, we know where he's at. They go, Thor's upset, fucking decapitates him, but they can't fix it.
Yeah.
And then they figure out the whole time travel thing, and then
5 years later.
they have to kill Thanos from the past. So it's they have to defeat Thanos twice.
Yeah. So Thanos not as strong as he is in Infinity War, but stronger than he is at the beginning of the movie. Because in Infinity War, he's got
The gauntlet.
the gauntlet with a various amount various amount of Infinity Stones throughout the movie. In Endgame, at the beginning, he's already destroyed the Infinity Stones, and it's completely just fucked him right the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically half a Thanos at this point. He's
half the fan he used to be.
I'm half the fan I used to be. That song?
Yeah. Past Thanos finds out how to get back to the future.
Sends past Nebula.
Sends past Nebula in place of future Nebula. Past Nebula is still allied with Thanos. And she makes it so Thanos can come back with his big old ship and army. And then a big old invasion happens.
True.
Right after they bring everybody back.
Yep.
And then a bunch of dudes come out of the ships, evil dudes. You know, all the villains that you saw in Infinity War. Come out.
And in the first Avengers over New York City, the big flying.
The
big old.
What are the Chitauri?
Yeah,
Chitauri. They were back as well.
Yeah. And then a bunch of magician portals open up, and then every single person comes out.
Yep.
Just everybody.
Yep.
It was a pretty epic scene. That was probably my favorite scene of the movie.
Yeah. Spoiler
alert. My favorite scene from the movie was that scene. And then Thanos is still a badass and manages to beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
But
fights Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man at the same time and handily wins.
Yeah.
But gets stumped by Scarlet Witch a little bit because she.
A little bit. Yeah.
He only won that encounter because of
the big ships,
the health rain or whatever they called it.
Yeah, rain, fire.
Yeah, rain, whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the end, he gets tricked by Tony Stark, who does the snap and erases Thanos and his entire army.
Yep.
And then, yeah, that's pretty much the end of the movie.
Yep.
That's the biggest spoiler of the movie.
Yep.
I'd say.
Yep, definitely ends there and does not continue on from that scene.
It's true.
Yep. Just rolls credits.
Nothing happens.
No particular people die from using the Infinity Stones. No, heartbreaking funeral happens.
No Johnny
with
Bravo
everybody
kid
from
that you don't
a certain
recognize.
Person's past. You know? No small daughters lose their fathers.
Which is technically not a spoiler because we did not say that he had a kid.
That's true. Except you just did.
Who?
Cut it. Cut that part out.
Who had a kid?
Scott Lang. Hawkeye had a kid.
Yeah, he had a kid until the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
It was snapped out of existence.
Yeah.
Dude, let's go see Endgame right now.
You got money?
Yeah.
I want to watch it at home on Blu-ray. I don't want to deal with people.
Too bad you're going!
They kind of half-ass Captain America's ending.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
I
think so.
really liked Captain America's ending.
I liked it, but I think they half-assed it.
I think it was pretty touching.
I think it was.
So
touching,
what do you mean
still
they half-assed?
Like they were just like, oh yeah, this is how Captain America just quits being Captain America. That's basically what it felt like.
I just can't believe they didn't kill him.
Well,
cool.
I couldn't believe that they didn't kill him in Civil War because he's supposed to die in Civil War.
Well, yeah, but he was never going to die in Civil War.
I mean, he was supposed to.
Yeah, in the comics. But he was never going to die, in the movies. Contractually, he still had other stuff to do. And how are you going to build up Thanos and not have fucking Captain America fight Thanos? Because he's fought Thanos in the story arc.
And he has America's ass.
That's true.
They did a very good job of recreating scenes from the Secret Wars story arc of where he's fighting Thanos.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I thought for sure he was gonna be murderized by Thanos. But I didn't.
Almost was.
He almost was. Yeah. But go ahead.
But then he got use of Mjolnir.
The hammer of
It's just hard to say. I wasn't correcting you.
Yeah, he got to use Thor's hammer because spoilers, Captain America is worthy. But they hinted at that at the second one. Or something.
Yeah, when they're all just hanging out, being Avenger bros, and he's like, "Nyeh." And fucking Thor shits himself. He's like,
the hammer moved. wasn't quite worthy yet.
I got them make him worthy, and then they just like barely have him use the hammer, and then he's just done.
Well, yeah.
Like,
I don't think you want to overdo
much
that.
more from it. You could overdo it though.
They used it a
It'd
lot
be justified
in that battle scene.
He's like the whole time.
Because he's...
The whole 15-minute scene.
That's
okay.
a long scene.
It's not that
He even
long.
used, like, the thunder and he did a lot with it, but... I mean, at that point, there was really no reason for Captain America himself.
You mean just like him using it more in the movie, or just like him using it more in the MCU?
Using it more in the MCU.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree. Because I was skeptical about anyone being able to use it except for Thor.
Well, it's whoever is worthy to guard Earth can
Really?
wield the hammer of Thor.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I knew it was
They
whoever was
explain that in
worthy.
the Thor movies, which
I-
I have seen probably less than you.
Well, I've never seen the first Thor movie.
You've never seen the first
I've
Thor
never seen the first Thor movie.
Okay, I've seen the first Thor movie one more times than you.
Yeah.
And
And I have seen Dark World once and Ragnarok twice, but I don't remember it being mentioned in either of those.
Yeah, I was mentioned in the first
first
one,
Thor.
and I believe they mentioned it in... They might have mentioned it in Ragnarok.
But I mean, if it was whoever's
I don't know.
worthy to guard Earth, any motherfucker in that battle should have been able to pick it up.
Well, I mean, you have to have like a certain mindset and a certain set of morals and shit
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
but I mean, every single one of them was willing to die for Earth. I'm just saying, like, it's all pretty worthy. That's all I'm saying. It's all pretty worthy. If I had to pick one person, I would have picked Captain America. Because I know he's one of the people that has wielded Mjolnir in the past.
Mm.
I just think I would have preferred leaving it to Thor for the MCU. I wasn't upset, but like in the movie while we're watching and it starts to twitch and all of a sudden Captain America catches it, I was kind of like, interesting.
I liked it.
I definitely wasn't mad.
It,
I just don't know how I felt about it.
it made the little kid in me go like, fuck yeah!
Did it make actual you go like that too?
Not in the theater, just the little child in me is like, that's fucking cool, man! Yeah, I liked the Thor or the Captain America storyline. I liked him choosing to go back and live that life that he wished he did have.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there's a Captain America Days of Future Past movie.
Well, you got
Christmas contract's up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you got Sam Wilson,
I'm excited
picking
for
up
Sam
the
Wilson to become
mantle of Captain
Captain America.
That's canon. He actually does become
Yep.
Captain
Yep.
America
He,
after Steve Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
in the most recent run that I was paying attention to, he was currently Captain America. And it was because everyone was throwing a fit about him being in a relationship with Thor. But it was
Lady Thor?
Jane Foster. It wasn't like even if it was a homosexual relationship, it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone's like throwing a fit, but it's like, it's just a so what?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Jane Foster, Lady Thor, and Sam Wilson, Captain America. I liked it. I don't know.
I thought it was half-assed. I think they could have done more with it.
Do you have like an
But-
idea of what you think they should have done, or just like in
They
general?
They should have killed him in Civil War. That's my idea.
Well, okay, that's a terrible idea because they had to make another 5 movies. So beyond your terrible idea, do you have a good idea?
I mean, it's not technically a terrible idea.
No, it's not.
Because he does die in Civil War.
But
comics,
But in the 30,000 other story arcs that exist in Marvel's comic books, he's also there to fight Thanos,
Yeah.
and so it's like they have to pick and choose
If it was my choice, I would have had him die in Civil War.
in Civil War.
It would have made the most impact in Civil War.
I would have had him. I mean, I would have completely done the Avengers 2, like the last 2 Avengers movies differently though. Like I would not have had Thanos snap
In the first one?
in the first one.
I would have.
Tyson would have.
That's how it happens in the comics, man.
It just
He snaps it.
there's just a difference between telling a story in a comic book and telling a story in a movie.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not. That
I
sounded
do.
condescending. That sounded super condescending.
No,
apologize.
it's
But yeah.
not. I do agree.
Because, like, you don't know, you honestly don't know what's going to happen in a comic book. Is your favorite character going to be resurrected? Probably. But will it be in this story arc or will it be in another story arc? Like, there's so many things that can happen in a comic book. In a movie, you know the good guys are going to win. So for me, Thanos snapping in the first one did not mean anything. Because no one was affected. And it wasn't even that good of a story arc movement. Because they got the Infinity Stones back almost immediately and undid it almost immediately.
You know what I would have done?
They did. I'm going to interrupt you for a second because I have a reply to that. They did see how close they came to just utter annihilation.
Yeah, which was good.
They did have to work really fucking hard to get the Infinity Stones, and then they had to work really hard to beat Thanos again.
But they did a bet. Sorry, we're going to get to you in just a second. I'm so sorry. I love you. Please don't be mad at me. Mm-hmm. To me, they didn't do a good enough job showing how hard they had to work. Because it was through a montage, and they figured out time travel in 2 minutes.
Yeah, which is why I think they could have added another hour on Endgame.
Yeah.
And it would have been just fine, and nobody would have complained.
I wouldn't have. Yeah. Except for the fact that I had to be up for work at 8 a.m.
What they could have done is just taken the first hour of Endgame up and like them living the 5 years, and Black Widow stepping up into her role, them trying to figure out like where Thanos is, them finding Thanos and killing him after finding out that the Infinity Stones do not exist and they cannot they cannot fix everything using the stones, and then ended Infinity War right there.
I just don't know how that would have worked from a narrative perspective because it seems like that was
dramatic.
It ended at a really pivotal moment.
Cliffhanger of Thanos' snap was.
Yeah.
But now it's a cliffhanger of, okay, we can't fix this because we don't have the stones. Instead of in the Infinity War, where it's like, okay, well they can just reverse it all once they get the gauntlet. But now in Infinity War, in the movie where the deaths happen, you now end with, we cannot fix this now.
I actually get what you're saying.
Yeah, I
listening to you explain it that way, it actually works a little bit better. And if you immerse, I watched something with the Russos where they talked about very carefully picking who would be snapped and who wouldn't, and what kind of emotional effect that would have on the characters. And I think they did a really good job. But I also think that if you completely immerse yourself and don't think about movies as a whole, they did a great job. But if you pull yourself out at all, even just the tiniest amount, T'Challa can't die. If they had done the snap differently, if they'd killed different people.
Like all the ones we expected to die.
Maybe. If Captain America had died in Infinity War, if Spider-Man had died, and they didn't announce Far From Home, if they didn't kill the entire Guardians of the Galaxy, I would have honestly been like, maybe they're not. Because people have been pushing for Miles Morales Spider-Man for almost a decade now.
Yeah.
Captain America, everyone knew Captain America was going to die. So if they had just rearranged the deaths a little bit better, I could have been convinced that they were not going to undo it. That they were just going to live the new Earth with half the people. I honestly could have been convinced if they had done the snap better, or if they had just not done the snap at all.
I think no matter who died, they could have killed off all the superheroes, or most of them, even more than they did kill off. I think most people who even have a vague idea of the Infinity War storyline would have been they're just gonna bring everybody back.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean,
everybody's gonna come back because it's a superhero story, and that just happens all the time. Superheroes never die completely unless their series is ending.
Yeah. But that's why rearranging who died could do it, because their series could be ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I've watched Infinity War since it's come out and been done in theaters. I watched it once in theaters. I've already watched it twice since. I plan on seeing Endgame at least 2 more times in theaters. That's how much I enjoyed it. I don't generally see movies in theaters that much. I would love to go see Endgame again right now. I think it's awesome. I just personally would have done it differently, because I get being true to the comic books, and I get like you said, it's a superhero movie. Of course, it's gonna get fixed. But if you don't end Infinity War on, of course, it's gonna get fixed, because nothing's happened. Like, it's not as satisfying. But if you just end fucking Infinity War with Thanos fucking snapping in the last gem, it's definitely not as good an ending, but nothing has happened yet. Then all of Earth's mightiest heroes are assembled to deal with Thanos. And how you progress the story from there is more difficult to, like, unpack, because theoretically the movie should be starting right into a clusterfuck. So how you would make another movie is its own challenge.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I'm not hating on the movie, because it was good, it was well done, and I don't have a better idea. I just don't like their idea. It was executed fantastically. I just don't like their idea.
Yeah. I think it's more of a situation of it's not the destination, it's the journey type of deal. Because, like, it doesn't matter how these movies really end, because we all know how they're going to end. It's just watching, like, all the cool special effects.
That is true.
Watching, like, the characters develop and all of that.
Yeah. That's, like... And, I mean...
And also, this is, like... It's taking some liberties from...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
the comic storyline.
Yeah.
Because comic storylines go, like, fairly differently.
And I would honestly say that for the first 20 Marvel movies, I could not agree with you more. It's not about the end, it's about the journey. Because you know that Captain America's not going to die in Captain America Winter Soldier. Yeah. And you know that Thor's not going to die in Thor Ragnarok, even though there was tons of articles saying he was going to. Obviously, it's not going to happen. But I think for these last two, part of the enjoying the ride is enjoying the end. Because it is the end, and you don't know who's going to come back.
Think of it kind of how I think of it, where it's Infinity War is part 1, and then Endgame is part 2.
That's how
where
I
it's just
it.
like a full movie.
It's just,
movie, you know, they were released
a year
apart.
Yeah. No, that's how I think of it, but it's just like, I think because it was released a year apart, it's hard to, like, get over the fact. Because, like, if you just roll right into Endgame, then whatever. That ending doesn't matter, because you're just like, oh, fuck yeah, let's go. But you wait a year, and it's just like, why did they do the snap? All right. Tyson.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the facts and figures?
Well,
the
budget was quite massive. Probably one of the largest budgets we've actually seen on this show. $356 million.
Chump change.
So much money, but so worth it.
Yeah.
It's... I'm going to do the opening weekend first. I know I usually do the worldwide gross before opening weekend.
We want to hear this.
So, opening weekend... So, the budget was $356 million, right? Opening weekend, it made $357 million.
So, it made $1 million.
Yes. In the first 3 days that it was released. As of this recording, it has made $2.27 billion. Second only to Avatar worldwide. This is one of the biggest movies ever released.
And it's coming for Avatar. There's almost no doubt in my mind that it'll catch it past Avatar.
It's absolutely going to pass Avatar.
Yeah. This has number one worldwide opens, number one opening weeks, number one opening day total gross, number one single day total gross, first to $1 billion. Is just breaking all sorts of records.
It's snapping those records away.
Yeah.
Exactly. Carly.
Yes.
You haven't talked for like 10 minutes. What's your favorite scene in this movie? Oh, sorry.
This is one of those movies where it's like, there's really funny parts. There's really just like emotionally wrenching parts. And it's just like, I almost have like one of each. My favorite. Oh, it's so tough. There's a lot of movie too.
Yeah, there's a lot of movie. Like 3 hours or something like that.
Because like one of the most memorable one I think of is when Nat and Jeremy Renner are trying to get the Soul Stone.
Hawkeye?
Jeremy Renner. I was trying to think of his name.
Clint.
Oh, Clint. Yeah. Like, that's a rough scene.
Yeah.
But, Tony talking to his dad.
Oh,
That's a good
yeah.
scene.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Cheeseburgers.
You can stop talking.
Well, I already covered my favorite scene is when the magic portals all opened and all the superheroes came out.
Yeah, I mean...
Just that sense of like, yeah, big battle about to start, big superhero battle.
They should have given that scene at least another 10 minutes.
Yeah. They should have made the battle scene a little bit longer. It would have been dope.
I think when they release the movie, and I don't know how they would do this, but I think when they release the movie, they should have like a super duper extended cut where...
Super.
Yeah. Where you just get that battle scene. Because, like, so Game of Thrones just did their Battle of Winterfell. It's the longest battle scene in television history. It was like...
It was dope, too.
Basically an hour-long battle scene. I want them to take that battle scene from Endgame and make it longer.
Yeah. Make it at least 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I mean longer than Winterfell.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Beat the Winterfell thing. Just that battle scene. That's what I want. I don't know that there's enough footage of that battle scene to do it, but that is what I want. Because you'd have to have like another hour of different like things, and I just don't think they did that many different scenes or what's.
They have a battle scene, and let's say they put 3 minutes focusing on each superhero.
It'd be long.
That would still be almost an hour by itself.
Yeah.
There you go.
They did do a pretty good job to make sure everyone got like
Some screen time.
Yeah.
They made everybody look badass.
Which is what is important, really. Mm-hmm. But, like, I don't remember Drax at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's basically the part where he runs out and he's like,
he jumped on top of the big dude, like,
fucked him up pretty good.
Everybody laughed.
Just a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
We didn't really see any Mantis doing anything.
No.
You didn't really see a lot.
Gamora didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah, didn't see Groot do much.
No.
I don't know. I think Fat Thor.
Oh my god.
Like, not throughout the movie, but like the introduction to Fat Thor. So that whole scene where they're in his apartment and he's like completely in denial about what the fuck's wrong with him. He's like, who killed Thanos? Oh, I killed Thanos. Like, because
talking shit to that kid on Fortnite.
Yeah. Listen, it's Thor, God of Thunder here. Like, because to a lot of people, he instantly became one of the most relatable Marvel characters of all time.
Going through that crisis.
Going through that and how he handled it. And I mean, they made a lot of jokes about it. And
oh my god, the Big Lebowski meme.
Oh, the Big Lebowski memes.
Oh, fuck. And I had just watched like the Big Lebowski like 2 weeks. No, it's been like a month now.
It's been a while, yeah.
But like,
still,
it was so recent. Now I'm just like.
So I think
it's funny.
I think the introduction to Fat Thor is my favorite scene in the movie.
Hilarious scene.
It is, but it's also way good. Beyond the fact that it is hilarious, it's way good because he's completely in denial about the fact that he is Fat Thor. Like, on the outside, but on the inside, like, you can still tell he's fucked up.
God of the Thundergut.
Yeah. Alright, it's time. What would you score this movie and would you recommend it?
I'd probably score it probably high 8 or a low 9. Because I don't want to score it higher than Infinity War.
So you gotta leave some cushion.
So I gotta leave some cushion. Yeah.
Makes
So
sense.
I'll do 8.75.
I like it. I like it.
I definitely would recommend this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
I recommend people see it and then they buy it and then they watch it again.
Yeah.
This is a good movie.
Yes. Carly.
If the only complaint about a movie is that there isn't enough movie,
that's a good fucking sign.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. I'm probably gonna go like 9.5 Probably solid 9.
I think I gave Logan a 9, so I can't score it higher than Logan because I like Logan more than this movie.
There's a lot I can complain about Logan.
Would you recommend it?
No.
Okay. I would also give it a 9, and I would recommend it. Can't not talk. Like, we are talking about the pinnacle Marvel movie. I can't not talk about the disservice they do to their movies by undercutting serious scenes with jokes.
Well, that's Disney.
Well, I understand that. Like,
That's
I'm not blaming the Russos. I'm not blaming Kevin Feige. But it's my civic duty to just, like, put another voice out there that's like, hey, you're doing a disservice to yourself and to your fans by making this incredibly serious scene and then literally 2 lines of dialogue later, like a fart joke or a Scott Lang's a dummy joke. Which, by the way, Scott Lang has a master's in electrical engineering. That doesn't make him fucking Einstein, but he's not a dummy. Thank you.
I complained about it a lot at the beginning of the MCU, and then I just got used to it.
Well,
it's just become a fucking Marvel trope at this
I think
point.
they got better at it with this movie in particular. What comic relief there wasn't just like in there just to be funny.
Yeah.
And we just went on a huge tangent. But, like, I remember multiple times sitting in the theater watching Endgame and going, ugh. Like, literally cringing. Because it's like, this is really serious, guys. Like, obviously not a fart joke, because I would actually leave.
I don't remember any of those scenes in this movie, really. Like, there was nothing that really just, like, stood out much.
Yeah, to you. There was to me, though. Robert Downey Jr. Robert Down? I don't think that's right. Robert Downey Jr. was the only cast member entrusted with the full script. Everyone else got their own little bits and pieces. I don't think Tom Holland got anything.
He got lines on the spot.
Yeah.
Say these.
Because he was like... mentioned it kind of already, but this is the 22nd MCU film. It was the 10th film in Phase 3. So Phase 3 got 10 films, and then the other 2 phases combined got 12. So they put a lot more work into Phase 3. With Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man in this movie, it marks the most appearances by one actor as the same superhero in film. And,
Take that, Hugh Jackman.
yeah. Hugh Jackman held the record with Logan last year, and then... Or 2 years ago now for Logan?
2017.
Yeah. So that was, I mean, that was Hugh Jackman's record for a little bit, but not for very long. It took Hugh Jackman 17 years to play Wolverine 10 times, and took Robert Downey Jr. like 10 to play Iron Man 11 times or something like that. I think that's all I've got, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Not that many fun facts for
I mean,
this
there was a lot.
brand new movie.
There was a lot, but it was a lot of stuff that was really wordy, and I just kind of let you guys, figure it out on your own.
This is already a long episode, possibly a long 2 episodes.
Like stuff about like Ant-Man and the Wasp was being filmed at the same time as this, so they'd have to shoot Ant-Man and the Wasp and then come over and shoot Endgame. Or like even though Captain Marvel was released after or before this, she filmed it after. Which, didn't she have shorter hair in this one?
Yeah.
So that's weird. Well, that does her. I think we're done.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously there was no shout out for the movie because it was another theatrical release. We still haven't figured out a way to do a
We
shout
can't
out.
quick and then.
Also, this was like an emergency podcast. This one's getting moved to the front of the list. So like, what you do? This is what you do.
Follow us anyway.
Yeah. Generally speaking, if you follow us on Facebook, we post obscure pictures of the movie. If you guess the obscure picture of the movie, we will give you a shout out on the podcast. It doesn't just have to be your name. We'll shout out your Twitter if you want to have people follow you there. We'll shout out your Instagram. Comment down below. I think this would be a good movie to comment, a good episode to comment on, because we talked about a lot in the episode. You can leave us your opinions down below on what you think about our opinions on the movie. I mean, we'd like you to do that on every episode, but this one especially, there's a lot to unpack. We read the comments. We'll even reply back to you. So, I mean, definitely let us know what you think. And what other movies you'd like to see us do next. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, like, all that stuff, whatever. That's it. That's all we got, right? Yeah?
Yep.
Sweet. Thanks for watching, and as always, I love you 3000.